Ladies and gentlemen, welcome once again to Limitless Crypto. My name is Lorenzo Crowder. I'm excited to be your host once again here today. We're going to talk about some Bitcoin setups. There are actually some really nice opportunities. Very interesting stuff here in regards to, obviously, the ETF. It's going to get a extremely volatile week. Okay, be prepared for what's coming because it's going to be a major week. Hope you guys are all doing well here. Looking forward to host you today here. Let's talk some Bitcoin. Let's talk some setups. Let's talk some trades here. In this stream, I'm going to lead you through a couple of trade setups that I think are extremely interesting right now. As you guys know, Bitcoin is back at the $45,000. The Tether dominance is getting rejected here. The Bitcoin dominance is at resistance, and Solana is also giving us a very nice and clean opportunity. So stick till the end here because we're going to turn this stream into a potential trading scenario. Okay, looking forward to host you here. As always, let's make sure you guys are ready for what's coming. Okay, because it's going to be an absolute beautiful stream. Make sure you smash up the like button. If you're new, subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell. Like this, you're always updated for new setups. You're relevant here, and maybe besides that, we can also, of course, look together for the best possible trades here. So, looking forward to see you in the chat. What we have here today, we have Maria Gonzalez. Amazing to see you right now, Maria. Great that you're here in the crypto section as well. Here, Skilly D, Marton is killing it. Thank you very much, Marton. Derek, absolute pleasure. Great meeting you as well here. I heard some great stories. Pavel, Aunt, my man, or and, sorry, that's Dutch. Aunt and Thomas, Euros says, let's go. Movies, absolutely. Funbox, Cosmos, Igor, legend. Okay, they're crushing it. Thomas as well, amazing. Great to see you guys here in the bush. Let's get it started. All right. So let's dive into the market real quick here because we of course have seen Bitcoin pumping roughly from that range here. So what we did here yesterday, okay, we started to come down here. We took out some of these lows right there, and we started to flip. Okay, we started to push up. We retested a trend right here. You can see that this was clearly a trend that we were building for a while. Okay, ever since we had that top at the 2nd of January. We started to trend down here. We broke out, retested it, and expanded. Most importantly, after that retest, of course, you know, we also tapped into a very nice and clean area of demand. That's right here. So that's sitting at around, 43.5K right here. We tapped into that zone, and yeah, we shoot up from there. Okay. Whenever you see a a double top formation like this, it's usually a very good sign here. So the question is today, is there more bullish momentum here, or are we going to see a pullback, or what's going to happen here? Well, based upon a couple of different charts, you can conclude here that we might even see a little bit more upside, okay, in the very short term at least. So we're going to talk about the reason why, but let's talk about the ETFs first. Of course, it's super important to understand what's going to happen here potentially on a Wednesday. So the 10th of January, practically everyone is talking about it right now at this particular moment here, is the spot ETF, okay? And just to go to the calendar here, there are a couple of scenarios which I think are very important in order for us to move forward here. And that is that, number one, it's not just one spot ETF here, okay? We're talking about multiple applications and filings for multiple spot ETFs here. The main one we're obviously talking about, we're curious about, is BlackRock, right? Because if BlackRock gets accepted here, potentially billions and billions of dollars can flow into the cryptocurrency market. That means that there is so much more money available to potentially flood into the cryptocurrency market here. However, do take consideration that if you look at this calendar here, you see that the actual ETF that we're waiting for right now is the ETF from ARK Invest, all right, from Cafe Wolf right here, all right? So that's the current ETF application that we're waiting for. And the BlackRock final deadline actually is medium March, okay? So we still have around 2 months to go, potentially 2 months to go, before that final deadline occurs for BlackRock here. So again, we have a deadline at the 15th of January as well, which is in 5 days from now. That's the third deadline, okay? But the final deadline from ARK Invest is happening on a Wednesday, okay? So that's important to mention. Now, do take consideration that you know, there are a lot of different scenarios out here. Okay, we can say, yes, we're going to get rejected. It can also just get approved. Everyone is kind of assuming right now on Twitter, it's extremely positive, right? 99.999% sure that we're going to see an approval here. But what if it doesn't? Okay, what will happen with the Bitcoin price if ARK Invest, the ETF application, gets denied, but BlackRock's ETF filing gets approved? Okay, that could be something that could be happening, you know, easily. Therefore, do not, you know, assume that we're just going to see the ETF getting accepted on the 10th of January, on this Wednesday here. But what happens if we get rejected? We always have to think about both scenarios as traders. You know, what happens if, you know, we're going to get rejected? What happens if we're going to get approved here? So let's talk about that real quick, because I do think it's important to always be aware of both scenarios rather than just assume that it's going to happen based upon hope, because that's all it is. It's just all hope. We don't know the true answer. So unfortunately, we can't, you know, make any conclusions yet until Wednesday. Okay. For now, though, based upon the Bitcoin chart and stuff here, it doesn't mean there are no trading opportunities until then. No, there are definitely some trading opportunities out there that we can take here, which I'm very interested in. I mean, there is still a bunch of liquidity further to the upside here. If you take this to the weekly chart on the liquidation heat map, the chart that we're always looking at, you can already see that around the $46,000, we have roughly, you know, 397, 257, you name it, 186, like a bunch of liquidity laying above these highs right here. So again, the fact that we're now at 45,000, why not just pulling it up a little bit further, just to take out an extra $1 billion or so, right? That could be an absolute a fantastic approach here. However, if that's the case, and that's the approach that we're going to take here, what about our entry? What's the right place to enter the market here? Because obviously entering from here would not be that great. Okay, that means that we're just below that resistance right here. And at that particular moment, you know, there's also a chance that we're going to come down first before potentially moving up here. So what we're trying to look at right now is based upon the book map and based upon you know, crucial data here from the tether dominance on the lower time frame. We are trying to figure out what will potentially happen in the very short term. Now, when talking about the ETF on a Wednesday here, you know, what happens if we get approved? Obviously, there is a big chance that we're just going to shoot up and that FOMO truly kicks in right away, followed by a massive short squeeze. I shared a tweet, or I made a tweet here, or how do you call it right now? Is it called X? I made an X post. I think that's how you call it today. Anyways, I made a post here where I stated myself here that if you look at this one right here, okay, I'd be really surprised after they decide on the Bitcoin ETF, the price doesn't look back to check out the 35 to 31K levels before it heads up for the next rise, of course, after a massive short squeeze. So, you know, usually what tends to happen, if you look here on the weekly time frame here, you can see clearly that, you know, there is just still a massive gap to fill, that we're on the weekly look already extremely overbought, that there is a big chance that we just really pull back to the 618 Fibonacci on the weekly time frame and start just, you know, coming along from there. Another chart, which in my opinion is absolutely key, is this one right here. This is more or less a total overview. And let me see if you guys can see it. Otherwise, you know what? I just open it right here. I think it's easier. You know, look at this this weekly expectation right now. Okay, we're talking about all the relative cycles right here. Okay, we're talking about the 2017 run, the 2021 run, and then potentially the 2024 run that's coming along here. Okay, now the Bitcoin halving is of course you know, close to April. So the middle of April, we will see the Bitcoin halving taking place as well. And as you can see here, every single time when we break out, this happened in 2017 right here. We broke out, we retested these highs right here once, and that was the official start of the run. Now go to 2021, okay? Same thing, we broke out, we retested that high, we flipped it into support on the weekly, and we had that run. Now take this to 2024, okay? We are now, if you can see right here, let me remove the Bitcoin halving real quick. You know, you can see clearly that we have broken out key levels of resistance right here. That's this range. We could easily see one more retest back to the $1.4 trillion of the total market cap, and then look for another expansion, right? So combine this, of course, with the daily chart, and then, you know, the confirmation we're seeing there, and let that be aligned perfectly with also the Bitcoin halving. Okay, so anything but you know, extremely bullish in the very medium short term. I do believe that it's healthy even to have one more pullback to the downside before another legs up here. Okay, could be fantastic. Let's see how that goes here. Now, for us, it does not really matter as traders, but I still wanted you guys to be updated about the potential you know, medium time frame scenarios that I think are, you know, extremely realistic here. Okay, I am bullish in the short term. Okay, another reason right here is the following. Okay, the SEC, for example, says right here, say no go to FOMO. Okay, just because others might buy a particular investment doesn't mean it's the right opportunity for you. Learn more about finding out what's right for you and your investment goals. Okay, this is the SEC posting, say no to FOMO. Okay, right before the spot ETF. So that's kind of ironic. Where were they when the price was $70,000? Okay, that's just funny. That could maybe mean that you know, we might be somewhat bullish in the short term. Whatever the case may be here, we will find out. Okay, but that's just something on the side here. Now, let's go back to Bitcoin. Okay, because yes, we are right now crucial resistance at this particular moment around the 45K. Okay, that makes a total sense. Of course, we have this high. That high was the high that caused that initial major drop off. So this is kind of the first time that we're truly, you know, retesting or testing that last candle right here that caused that initial drop off right there before, you know, potentially looking for a further continuation or anything in that matter. The good thing though, if you go to this chart right here, is that we now have created obviously a fantastic range below it. And we have broken out of that range. So the reason why this is a good thing is because right now we have potentially a lot of support sitting in this particular range. So that means that we have that consolidation, that expansion, right? And that means that we have this consolidation, expansion, retracement, and then that continuation down, but then holding at this particular bigger range we have developed since, you know, let's say the 4th of January right now. You know, you could say this whole week, you know, a pullback and then look for one more continuation. So the question is not if I'm looking for longs or shorts here. We could maybe look for a scalp short, but what I'm more interested in actually for now is looking for one more continuation due to the fact that we know that there is just so much more liquidity still above these key levels of $46,000 especially. So I want to see price coming towards that region. If you look at the bookmap right now, you see 45.5, 200 Bitcoin, 102, 12 Bitcoin, 144, 178, 45.75, 650 Bitcoin, you name it. A bunch of liquidity still built above here. You know, I think that at some point they want to tap into that in order for us to move forward here. If that happens, that then automatically means that we also gained this level right here. Okay, so there are two scenarios right now, which I'm going to trade here. Number one is we come back down right now due to the fact that the tether dominance, okay, is coming down, but is facing some horizontal support. So that means if you take this to the, you know, 15-minute time frame and you zoom in, that we might see, you know, somewhat of a retracement, you know, followed by a rejection or somewhat or of that sort, coming back towards this overall range. And if you come up and get rejected here, you know, then this is the best entry for us, of course, for Bitcoin when you come down, and then of course gonna come up eventually. So that's one layer to look at. Another layer, which is very bullish for Bitcoin if that happens here, is if we break above the $46,000, okay, well, there is a potential scenario where we could flip this range into support. And it means that we could come here and that we could have one more continuation run towards the $48,000, targeting first the previous yearly highs before potentially starting to, you know, consolidate and then look for further confirmation, either up or down. But anyways, that is usually a very bullish sign. When you gain this, you know, overall drop off, turn it back into support or flip resistance to support and then look for that continuation as well. So regardless of the outcome here, up or down, then potentially up. Yeah, then obviously we're going to look for long setups right now, not just for Bitcoin, but maybe also for altcoins here. Solana is holding extremely strong. So I definitely want to look at a Solana trade today as well, because I just see a lot of potential in Solana at the moment. And also the main reason why is because if you look at the Bitcoin dominance right now, the Bitcoin dominance has been coming into the 45% rule here. Okay, we saw, or we stated before that, we flipped obviously this, strong resistance we had first into support. Okay, and we expanded, and now we're at that local resistance right here. The previous high is causing that resistance at this particular moment. You can already kind of see that this is now getting rejected. So if you combine a rejection from the BTC dominance here in combination with a drop off of the Tether dominance, that means that altcoins are gonna potentially make a short-term bounce here, a short-term recovery, a short-term potential aggressive recovery in that matter. And therefore, the opportunities are definitely there, in my opinion. Now, when coming back towards this range, there are a couple of key levels we're going to look for. Okay, number one is obviously that horizontal support, which will be at 44,441, and the second one is the overall range, which you're going to find, of course, at 44,164. This is what we call the value area high of this particular range right here. We called that, in the analogy we used before, the outer range, right? The outer castle, wall, where you can't break through potentially after that breakout. So they're trying to come back, hit the value area high, and then bounce off it. So that would be also a potential fantastic long opportunity, in my opinion right now. Okay, so based upon that here, overall looking good, regardless if you break out to the upside or if you just pull back right here and continue. Everything is looking overall quite solid here. Now, a lower low, of course, here, also flipping structure into a higher high, and then flipping this high potentially in a higher low makes, in my opinion, also a lot of sense after this overall breakout as well. The reason why I'm not interested in long right now in the very short term, just from here, is also because the volume, as you can see right now, the volume is starting to die out right now for longers right here. So there is not enough volume to continue, in my opinion, the momentum here. And if there's not enough volume to continue the momentum, then obviously, we're going to come back to prices where there is more momentum or there is more demand to increase that volume once again here. So if the volume starts to die off, that's usually not a good sign below that key level of resistance right here. So I actually think that a pullback to the 44.41 or to the 44.15 is a more realistic approach rather than looking for that breakout and then for that continuation. But anyways, we don't know. We will find out in the next coming hours ahead of us here. And based upon the Tether dominance, we are at this particular moment not looking that strong, but we have to acknowledge that we are now at least facing some horizontal support right here. So what we need to see in order to look for continuation is a closure below. And once again, in 26 minutes from now, sorry guys, in 26 minutes from now here, I want to see a closure at least below the 5.75%. Okay, that means that we have a 4-hour closure below. That would be absolutely fantastic. But let's see how that goes. Now, when looking at Total 3 broke. Okay, so it broke through that trend here. We lost some of that momentum here. You can definitely see when you go to the crypto bubbles and you go to like the week. Obviously, you can see why. Okay, altcoins have been absolutely coming down here heavily. And the main reason usually is because, of course, there is so much talk about Bitcoin right now, about the spot ETF, that Bitcoin is just pretty much gaining more dominance. So more money is flowing right now into Bitcoin rather than into altcoins. And then combine this, of course, with an expansion we've seen here, a significant increase of the Tether dominance until now. Yeah, and that's usually not a good sign here for altcoins. Altcoins usually get wrecked when the Bitcoin dominance and the Tether dominance both come up here. Okay, so that's that. Overall, extremely bullish, of course, in the medium long term. This is looking absolutely fantastic. The market, does not act the same way, but it definitely rhymes. But it looks extremely similar if you extrapolate and you zoom out completely. You can see that these cycles are constantly repeating itself here. So we're heading into an exciting time here. But in regards for us as traders right now at the moment, it's up to us to wait at least one more pullback or an expansion. And then we will gain at least more information for our next possible trade setup. So if you want to trade with me together here, I personally use BitGet. and Bybit as well, but mainly Bitcat right now. As you guys can see, my account is also connected to TradingView. That's the easiest way of trading right here. I open a long position, boom, click on create limit order, literally type in my leverage, whatever I want to do, stop loss, the amount of risk, enter, done. Takes me literally a couple seconds and I can literally enter a position. So Bitcat has a great application and an API integration with TradingView, which is absolutely fantastic. So if you're interested in joining us, of course, join, click on the link in the description and take advantage of the exclusive link, which provides you with $8,000 deposit bonus when signing up. And this also grants you access to our VIP crypto channel. So if we're going to the wins of this weekend, by the way, of the community has been absolutely crushing it here. Couldn't be more proud. Martol, my man, you're absolutely crushing it. Fantastic, my man. Solana, good to see you already. Antonis has a major room position as well here. Let's go back to the signals as well real quick, because there was a big trade. Cyber was a good one. People was a great trade right here. That was absolutely fantastic. So again, once you're updated and you're connected to us with Bitcat right here, you can then also claim access to our crypto VIP chat, which grants you access to all these signals given, and the wins obviously speak for themselves. So coming back to the pullback right here, and then looking at Solana, for example, Solana's dominance has been growing. Okay, Solana is actually performing very, very well. There are a lot of weaker currencies out there. Solana is doing its thing right now and it's holding up fantastically. So, you know, at this particular moment, when taking this to the 30-minute time frame, for example, okay, this is nice. I love this a lot here. Why? Because we have this beautiful, you know, consolidation and that expansion, that breakout pattern, some sort of, you know, inverted head and shoulders breakout. If you put here that area of the month right now, you have a lot of confluences coming together. So number one is this low to this high is the 50%, the equilibrium. Okay. So we retrace back towards a discounted area, which is always better to enter from rather than trying to get your entries here, because your risk to reward will be not as effective. When entering at least from the 50% or lower, this is where, of course, it gets interesting. So if we see a pullback to the 50%, we have a great combination. We have this overall price structure right here. Okay, we have a beautiful area of the month. We have the 50%. And if we draw a horizontal level right on that zone, we also see that this is a key confluential zone right here. You can see that this was a very interesting area of the month. This was a massive breakout, expansion, pullback, turn it into support, followed by a massive continuation. So Solana's level right here at 90.6576 is one of these entries I'm looking at right now at this particular moment. So yeah, this is definitely something I'm interested in right here. Once again, this is that area of consolidation right now. The volume is indeed coming down. So we might be taking, I mean, this is a little bit of a higher risk setup, but we might be looking at a short-term short opportunity, taking it further to the downside, switching it up to long, and then continue to the upside, okay? Coming back towards that gap that we have built up around $97, okay? That could be a very interesting level to look at, which then creates an overall bigger W formation, followed by that expansion that we need in order to move forward here. So, you know, Solana right now has a bunch of confluences at the 19.65. It should not be taking that long for it to get there. And if it does, then you can obviously take a fantastic trade opportunity, which is going to be right here. My entry will be at 90.71. My stop loss will then be below the 618 at 88.6476. And then my take profit will be roughly, and this is a rough estimate right now, but I think it will be roughly around this bigger overall range that we then have never retested yet right here, which is going to be at around $97. Okay, so based upon that here, we should be enjoying a nice 3-to-1 on our money, and that's exactly the trading setups I'm personally looking for. At least somewhere of a 3-to-1 on my money right here, and I think that could align very well with Bitcoin moving back into that range. We consolidate, expand, and then look for one more continuation. Potentially going for the $46,000 first because of all that liquidity that is still built there. Okay. Overall, thank you guys so much here. It's absolutely amazing. Let me look in the chat real quick. Ray says, really enjoy your analysis recently. Feels like my trades are improving already. Like button smashed. Thank you, Ray. Cowboy, Absolutely fantastic here. By the way, guys, Cowboy in the Crypto VIP has, of course, his overall daily analysis, an overall Q&A, you could say, with during the Asian session. So if you are from the United States, then this could be perfect for your morning coffee, together with Cowboy and a couple other killer traders as well in our community here. Okay, I would love to see you in the Crypto VIP lounge, which you can then join right here. Click on the on this little section here. This leads you to a voice channel where Cowboy streams, and then of course you can have either your morning coffee, or if you live in Asia like me, potentially a nice early closure. Okay. Oh, sorry, it's the other way around. So evening for the United States and morning coffee for myself. My bad. Okay. So for you, it should be, if you're from Europe, somewhat in the afternoon. Anyways, looking forward to see you there. It's going to be absolutely fantastic. Every single week, once a week for now, we also have a massive Q&A where we just talk together. So I'm going to be there. Gavin is going to be there. Cowboy is going to be there. And of course, trader Tim, who's giving the signals, is also going to be there. So if you have any questions about, trading, BitGet, about how the exchanges work, you name it, we can help you out at any given moment. Just make sure you ask. There is no bad question. Truly, there is no bad question here to ask here. Okay, we all start somewhere, and that's just how it goes. So we have to do it together, fam. If you don't ask your questions here, we cannot help you out. Okay, do take into consideration. Bjorn Vink says, did you see that, guys? Lorenzo is actually human. Great, my man. Amazing. Okay, so Solana is, of course, one trading setup that we're looking for. Bitcoin is the other, either up or down, whatever the case may be, right? One of these setups is what we're going to look for right now. Let me know what you want to see as well here in regards to a couple of new setups. At this particular moment, I'm going to keep a close eye on the Tether dominance. Okay, the Tether dominance needs to close below, and we have 17 minutes left. We are already, at this particular moment, breaking down. Okay, so that's significantly bullish right here, especially because the Tether or the Bitcoin dominance is in that crucial resistance at this particular moment. Okay, it's facing difficulties. All right, so that's bullish for altcoins right now. So therefore, it's the perfect time to do some analysis together, to go over the setups and to see what we can trade right here, right now, on this live stream. Okay, fantastic. Who else do we have here? We also have Dre. I see my man Dre is in the building. What's good? Limitless fan, Crypto Empire in the fucking house. Amazing, my man Dre. Great to have you here, my friend. Yes, sir. New channel. Looking forward to have you here. Incredible engagement on this new channel already from the beginning. I wonder why. Let's see. Viat says I have my setups of AVAX, Blur, Cardano, Mask, and Render. Let's talk about AVAX first, because AVAX is indeed an interesting one to look at as well. It's not as strong as I remember it as Solana is at the moment, because Solana is up already 6% right now. AVAX around 2%, but that doesn't mean anything. We might see some solid opportunities right here. But again, I can see it already. The difference between Solana and AVAX right now, okay, is this particular range. Okay. I mean, yeah, it's the same scenario. It's roughly the same setup. Let me zoom this out. Let me draw a level right here. Let's see how it goes. Okay, we have the same two levels right there, 31 and 33.346. Swing low to swing high, 50%. Yeah, so it's kind of that same level. Kind of the same level for AVAX right here. And at the same time, you can see that we're building that trend up. Super clean. Yeah, look at that. So, okay. Yeah, if you get in this breakout before it breaks out, you might have an opportunity, but you can also just simply wait for it to break out, pull back, and then look for a nice trade opportunity. Don't look at this trend line, at the retest of a trend line, but look at the structure. Okay, that lower low, that internal lower high still, then higher low, and then a higher high, then that higher low is your entry, if that makes sense. So instead of trying to catch the higher low right now, right? You wait for a higher high first, followed by a higher low, your entry will be slightly higher, but you have like double the amount of confirmation for it to confirm and move further to the upside right here. So overall, I do like it. For now, you still get rejected at this particular trend. So definitely looking to see if you can take this to the downside here, unless you want to take it to the lower time frame and you want to start looking at a breakthrough moment. But the thing is, the tether dominance is now kind of breaking down here. So therefore, you know, it might not be the best scenario to look for shorts at this particular moment, at least. That's, you know, might be a little bit wrong. I think we could wait for a breakout first and then look for further continuation to the downside. I think that makes a lot of sense for AVAX. But overall, we are setting up for a breakout. That's no doubt right now in my mind here. Okay, this is, you know, a matter of time before this low potentially creates a higher low, and then boom, we're going to see breakout. But the entry can easily be after when you have created an internal higher high, and then look for that continuation right here. Something like that for AVAX. Man, this is definitely something I will share and add to the list. Okay, to our watch list right here. So let me set everything up for now. Okay, let's get back to Solana as well. There we go. Yeah, Solana is one of these ones that I think that have so many confidence coming together right here tonight to put 7-1. If we get there, we're lucky. Okay, we're lucky. We're gonna have some fun here. We're gonna take an entry. We're gonna go long, and obviously we don't know how long it takes, but hopefully we will see some sort of pullback, or we gain the highs and we flip it into support. That's it. We're right now right at resistance. We have an expansion. We have a gap below as well at the same time, right? So it's usually not a good sign or not a good combination when you're trying to enter now when there is a gap below while you're in resistance, unless you're trying to go for shorts, but the tether dominance is still holding up. Yeah, it's showing a little bit too much weakness right now. So at any given moment, Solana could just stop us out here if you go for a short right now. So anyways, let's evaluate and see how that goes here. But that's going to be our entries. That's definitely going to be something we're looking for. Okay. Vicky says, Gary Gensler just posted a thread on X about investing in crypto. Maybe it's almost ready. The sooner the better. The sooner the better. Let's get it over with, okay? The less unsure the market is right now, even though I'm actually, you know, the market's actually looking quite decent at this particular moment. I do think a short-term pullback is necessary here, but again, we will see. Cowboy says, I enjoy helping all in the community in advance. It's great to hear, my man. Red Scar Silver says, I like your volume speaker. Bart Simpson says, render. Let's look at render, my man. Let's look at render. There we go. That's what you want to see. That is what you want to see. Okay, fantastic. So range, point of control. We flipped it on the dot, the magic touch. Okay, a beautiful range. Pullback, boom, flip. 20% gain today. Significant. Okay. At resistance currently, so 4.0102. That's the exact level of resistance we now have to pay attention to. Just say 4, let's say 4, okay? $4. Psychological level, you could name it, whatever the case may be here. Swiped out a lot of people that went short as well. So a lot of guys stopped out here probably that had stop losses built above while they were shorting render down, okay? Quick reversal play and a quick expansion. So again, then we use this tool, again, the fixers run profile right now, to turn this expansion, this gain, okay, that breakout here into support. So the first level I'm looking at right away is the 3.835 for render. And the reason why is because, you know, this is the value area high. Okay, it makes a lot of sense here. If you draw probably a horizontal level, you will see that it will align multiple confluences right here. It will give us, you know, also this bigger overall range of price action right there. And yeah, it's definitely an area of previous resistance turning into support. So The 3.8350 for render is a first key level to start looking at here. So yeah, that's actually quite nice here. However, the problem is, okay, that's also very important, is where you're going to put your stop loss, right? Because if you enter right here, then where does your stop loss need to be? Right here? No way. It's way too far. So we're trying to come and compromise a little bit. Okay, so that means that we have to adjust our risk, number one, in order to have like a solid risk management in case things go wrong. However, when you see the point of control here, very close to the value area low, okay, using the pixels on profile, right? That's a tool that you can find right here. The volume-based profile measures the volume of a range. Okay, volume can equal support, resistance, hidden support levels, resistance levels, you name it. Then if you come here and you see that bounce, you see 1 hour closure, let's say above it, and the sentiment is still weak for the Tether dominance, so bullish for the market. And the Bitcoin dominance is indeed still resistance and it flips bearish. Then what you have is an amazing opportunity. That means that then your entry will be obviously right there at 3.8350. And your stop loss will be slightly below this low. Okay, so if you look at this range, it will be below this low, which is then automatically below the value area low and the point of control right here. So you pull back, stop loss will be below here, entry will be there, and then you target, and then we have to zoom out, okay, because we have a bigger swing overall. I'm going to use it from here to there. Okay, the 618. All right, that's fantastic. That's what you're looking for. So that's the 4.1693. You know, we are already now getting rejected from the 50. If you can then take it to the 618, you have a nice opportunity here. Okay, that's one scenario. The other scenario is the following: that you come down and you know you don't want to enter from the 1 hour chart because it's just too far ahead. So you're looking for like a lower time frame confirmation to increase your risk to reward. And that could then be the following. Again, the same level. Okay. You come back 38350. You wait for like an internal break. And then you put your entry right there. Stop loss below loss low. To then increase your risk reward overall. But I do believe that, you know, the safer trade overall is still the trade that I just showed you, which is going to be right there. Okay, 3835. Stop loss will be at 36887. Yeah, exactly. 3868887. All right. Render. Let's add this one to the list here. Okay, fantastic. We have 81 people watching and 555 likes already. We're breaking records, ladies and gentlemen. That is fantastic. So thank you guys so much. Where's the applause? Where's the applause? There we go. There we go. Fantastic. Fantastic. Let's smash up the like button here. And if you like what we do, then make sure you tune in on a day-to-day basis. We are live every single day throughout the week, 10 a.m. EST. Talk about the best possible setups. Sometimes we trade live, we execute live. It just depends on the market, right? If the opportunities are there right in front of us, of course we take it. Okay? Again, that's how we do it. Right here through our trading view. Right now it's connected. It's working fantastically. So that's what we're gonna do. Okay, let's do a couple more. Okay, Rafael says W. Sonar says sub fam. Amazing to have you see here. Yura says, is it worth it to do Forex in 2024? Absolutely, I do absolutely believe that it's worth it to do Forex in 2024. So absolutely, I do think it's worth it to do Forex in 2024. We all know why. There is still $6 trillion of daily volume in the Forex market, okay? The dollar is on an absolute rampage right now. There are a lot of currencies battling each other here. Japanese yen is still trying to recover, changing up their monetary policy. However, it's not going that well. So the Japanese yen is absolutely getting destroyed. So based upon that, of course, there is a big contrast between a lot of currencies. And I think this will be completely exploited over the next couple of months ahead of us here, due to the fact that, you know, the monetary policies, inflation, and potential money printing will potentially, you know, create some magic in the stock or in the forex market in general right here. So I have no doubt in my mind that it's still full of opportunities here, okay? Absolutely. Just for clarification here, I have been trading Forex for a long period of time. I'm actually streaming this week again Forex, also live on my main channel, okay? So you can check out my main channel if you're interested in trading Forex as well. But again, we have done hundreds and hundreds of live streams over the last year, executing hundreds of trades live on stream. So we're going to do this for crypto right now as well here, because it's paying off. All right, fantastically. Okay. Hoodie Who says, yo, I'm back with another GST request. Let's do GST then, my friend. Let's have a look at it. I have to start at the weekly here. Okay. Horizontal support. 0.012, so like 1.2 cents. You see that sellers are in control here. That's for sure. Sellers are in control. There's no doubt about that. I want to see lower prices, lower targets right now. On the weekly, you can see it's just not there yet. It's consolidating. It's ranging. It's trying to hold on. I'm not impressed here. I think that the weekly support is at level, you know, it's the perfect point of interest right here. So that means, you know, you consolidate, you break below. You start consolidating below that resistance. You come up, you expand heavily. People taking profits right away. You come down for whatever, 6 or 7 weeks. You tap and flip it into support, and you go and try to break out to the upside. So again, I don't see like a short-term play here right now. I think that we're going to see a little bit of lower prices here. And if you can come down a little bit more, then you have, you know, an opportunity sitting around 1.2 cents. That's it. It's going to be a nice opportunity though, because, you know, we haven't seen, you know, price pulling back here. You can see how important that level is when just simply looking at the weekly. Okay, you could see that this was crucial support until we broke down. We flipped it into resistance, and it took around a month for it to break above here. So we could easily see this flipping again into support right now, with of course also this strong area of the month. So that weekly demand right here, that we have this strong demand zone right there. So we pretty much grab it from the wick to the wick. And then, yeah, you have just tremendous amount of support there. So I would wait for a little bit of a pullback, and they have the best entry. Absolutely. Okay. Hope this channel takes off for you, my dude. This channel will take off. This channel will take off. No worries. No worries about that. Okay. Viet says, I split these trades on my daily risk. Hope to get filled. Fantastic. Avex, Blur, Cardano. Yeah, let's look at Cardano here, because Cardano was actually doing very well, but was losing a little bit of momentum here. Now, the beautiful thing about Cardano is the following, that if you take the fixtures run profile from this complete level, we have a bounce right now from the value area high on the weekly. So that's kind of your hidden level right here. You can see clearly that this was a support level as well, turning into resistance, now coming back, potentially flipping it into support here. So you see that this was resistance, support, resistance, flipping into support here on the weekly time frame. So key level for Cardano was 45.383. Now going to the 4 hour. Okay. The beautiful thing about Cardano right now, I actually need to go to the 1 hour, is that the same thing as AVEX is now happening here, where you break out of that range. You know, multiple touch points right here. You had that trend. And then what happened? For the first time right now today, we broke out. Okay. Does it mean though that you should long here at the breakout? A lot of people would enter from a trendline breakout here. I'm usually not really a big fan of these trendline breakouts. What I personally would love to see first is that we at least take out the previous high, which you will find at around 52.5. And if you can gain this high, now we can start thinking about a pullback, because now I feel that this lower low created a higher high. You can then turn that higher high into a higher low, and then we can look for continuation. So where people look at trend lines, this is how I started as a trader years ago. I started trading trend line breakouts, right? And then sometimes I entered right away when the trend line broke. And usually it worked against me. Sometimes I made money. Usually it worked against me. Just because, you know, I didn't pay attention, or I didn't pay any attention to the structure of the market itself. So, you know, lower lows, lower highs, higher lows, higher highs, right? In this case, it's still a scenario where we have a lower high, lower low, and a lower high. So until this is not a higher high, I'm kind of like not really interested yet in a continuation here, or a flip, or a potential market shift. Okay, so that's what I'm waiting for that break in order for us to look for further continuation. Now Bitcoin is trying to push up again. The Tether dominance, and this is important for today, guys, has closed the 4-hour candle below the 5.75%. So that means that we might be looking for further continuation to the downside for the Tether dominance. That means that more people are selling the Tether. Now combine this with the following chart. Okay, let's see if we can find this here. That will be absolutely fantastic. Market cap. Let me see. Market cap USDT. Give me a moment here. There we go. The market cap of Tether. Okay. Look at what has happened to the market cap of Tether over the last couple of weeks here. Okay. The market cap is going up aggressively right now, and the dominance is coming down. So that means that there is a lot of, internal, you could say, money printing happening right now. Okay. Billions of dollars are getting printed with Tether right now on a day-to-day basis, right as we're heading into the potential ETF approval or rejection. But anyways, Tether is printing a shit ton of cash right now in preparation for potentially new money entering the markets right here. Okay. So in order to make sure that their currency, stays, balanced, they need to start printing and managing it, managing the supply accordingly. Otherwise, you might get in trouble in regards to the valuation of Tether against, the overall value in the overall market. Therefore, right now at the moment here, it's just an interesting thing to take consideration. Okay, a lot of money printing is happening at this particular moment. This also counts for Tether. Okay, so coming back to the dominance of Tether, the total market cap, and then the dominance that Tether has. Now we're sitting at around 5.73%. So if that decreases, obviously right now more people are starting to buy crypto, and this is a good indicator to see if you're getting rejected on the Tether dominance. Obviously, that's bullish for the market. So this is a great chart to just understand the sentiment of the market. Okay, that's why we use this chart here, because we have seen many scenarios where Tether is in resistance, and if Tether is in resistance, or this chart is in resistance and Bitcoin is at support, you have that confirmation, boom, and you can go. If let's say Bitcoin is in support but Tether is not yet in resistance, then you could think, okay, we're not there yet. Maybe Bitcoin has a little bit more leg room to come down further, and therefore, I might not take this long position right now. I want to wait until Tether is in resistance. So if Tether is in resistance, then I will take the long for Bitcoin. So it's an amazing indicator that you can look for. That's actually not lagging, right? It's a real-time chart that shows you that we're heading these key levels, we're entering key levels for Tether, and that was in this case at 6%. So the moment we were there, just as a example for you right now, okay, this was Sunday, January 7th, let's say 11 p.m. EST. Okay, now let's go to Bitcoin, look at the same chart here. 7-11 right here. Okay, we were sitting at 43 or 44k here. So because we saw that the Tether dominance was right there in that resistance, tapped into this area of supply, created a higher high, lower low, tapped into it twice, got rejected previously already. That rejection was a key indication that we might be breaking out here, and that's exactly what we did here. And then of course combine that with the liquidity was built up above here, hundreds of millions of dollars of sell side liquidity, shorters in the market, exposed potentially here. And then of course at the same time, that rejection, that confirmation, that 4-hour closure below that zone could have been a nice confirmation for you to take a long position, if that makes sense. So in this case, now we're looking at a continuation. Okay, that means that Tether right now is breaking down, it's closing below crucial support, and now we're looking for that further continuation to the downside. So therefore, we might be pushing up further. And you can already see now that Bitcoin potentially will do, the following, and that is breaking out, flipping it into support, and then looking for further continuation up in the very, very short term. All that makes sense here. But again, this is, the tool, the powerful tool Tether, the Tether dominance, okay? So again, if you want to join and you want to sign up through one of our links in the exchanges right here, click on the link. It leads you through the exchange. You can sign up, fill in your KYC. It takes you like 5 minutes for it to get accepted. Obviously, right now with BitGet right now, they have an automated system, so it's very quick, it's very easy, and then you can also get access to my free cryptocurrency course, because my free cryptocurrency course explains in 3.5 hours exactly what Tether dominance does, what the totals are doing, how the money flow works in crypto, and I think it's an absolute necessity for you to understand the sentiment of the market in order for you to make better and more informed trading decisions, besides just only your trading strategy right there. Okay, so coming back into Cardano, higher high, higher low is the only thing I'm interested in right now. Otherwise, I'm just not interested in a short-term trade setup. I think that Solana is much more appealing. Okay, flipping Solana into support and then looking for that continuation as a secondary option right here. All right. Drauke says, hi Lorenzo, I hope all is good. Could you check Harmony 1? Yeah, I love Harmony 1, by the way. Very volatile. I like it. I like it. So let's go to 1. Let's do that. Okay. 1, 1, 1, 1. There we go. Okay. Yeah, nice. Really good. So 12 hour. Sorry, 4 hour. Yeah. So you see always that, what tends to happen, and this is just a pattern. Consolidation, expansion, consolidation, expansion, pullback, rejection, trade. Breakdown. Flip, sentiment, bearish, right? Pullback, still the range, okay? Still the data from this range right here matters, okay? There we go, look, the point of control, tapped into the point of control right here. Oh no, sorry, the value area high, rejection to the downside, right? Further continuation, and now we're zooming out, the market is fractal, coming back towards a bigger range, right? Expansion, retracement, potentially looking for that continuation. Same thing counted for this one. Bigger range, expansion, pullback, continuation. So that's where the magic happens. You understand the ranges, you understand breakouts of ranges, and you understand the retracements. If you get the hang of these retracements and you combine that with, for example, the fixed range volume profile, or whatever the case may be, your probability of winning trades will be, will go up tremendously right here. Absolutely. No doubt in my mind. Okay. 88%, fantastic. Now go to the 30-minute. Yeah, same thing as what we saw with AVAX, with Cardano. Looking for a breakout here in the very short term, but this is the high that created the low. So you want to gain that high first to look for a retracement, to look for that continuation. So now, like we said before, we have now shifted from this range. We bouncing from that range. If we then manage to create a higher high, then the higher low is where the magic happens. The higher low is where our entries come from and where we can look for further continuation to the upside. So again, let's draw the fixed range volume profile from this range. And look at the internal range. Let's see if that's the answer. No, it's definitely the bigger range. It's definitely the bigger range. Yeah. So we're looking at the value area low. I should make a video and post it on this channel, by the way, talking about the volume profile more. Once again, okay. I do have a channel about it on my main channel, but yeah, could be an interesting one. Okay, so higher high, higher low, continuation. This range right here. Why that range? Swing low to swing high. At least that zone we want to see here. Coming back to the 618 and then looking for one more leg up. And the reason why is because there are a lot of potential stop losses built up above these levels here. I think, you know, this is definitely an interesting take. So then you could take that towards this level right here, which is the 0.01773, which then brings you back to this overall bigger structure that's sitting right there. Nice W formation. Could be very good. Could be very interesting to look at. Hopefully, when we're here, you can confirm with the Tether dominance that we are still getting rejected. And that's your confirmation to enter. So again, when giving these setups right now, okay, we're preparing for these setups right here. You can also make a couple of short setups. So let's say you have a couple of short scenarios, a couple of long scenarios. And at the moment you reach your point of interest, you confirm with the sentiment of the market if we're bullish or if we're bearish at that particular moment. Or if the probability is at least higher in that manner. So the Tether dominance, obviously right here can be a huge factor. Okay, when the price comes back towards these entries, these entry zones right here. Okay, so looks fantastic. Entry will be then roughly around the 15.58, and stop loss. I mean, your target is there, so yeah, I think that's good. So the 1.5 cents. Let's let's put this one at the list. Let's add this one to the list. Like what we do here on this channel here. As always, we fill up our watch list. Of course, today is Monday, so we have a new week. You know, we fill up our watch list. We look at all the potential scenarios right here. We draw them, and then we keep you guys updated in Discord right here in the YouTube section right there, which you can join. And I just literally talk about the setups that we share. So, for example, this is from a couple of days ago. You know, where we look at the scenarios, we type them out already on the stream. We lay them out, and then we talk about all of these entries the next day when they play out potentially right away. Okay, so you are completely updated. So another reason to join our Discord too. Okay. Crypto Noob says TRB. TRB was wrecked. What's happening right now? It's still wrecked. Okay, it's still absolutely wrecked. You could not even trade it on BitGet for a while. Apparently due to like spoofing behavior, or there's something dodgy going on with TRB, as far as I read. But regardless, we are back at a low, or we're coming back to a nice range right here. And I think that the value area high is one of these levels to look at. So yeah, it's the same scenario, right? So a low, a massive expansion. This was the start of that expansion. So that's your swing low point. That's your swing high point. Yeah, you're coming deep into the into premium territory. So you want to come down more. You want to come back towards the 97.6. And then look for a nice expansion to the upside right here. Okay. So pullback or expansion. This is going to take some time. I don't think that we're looking interesting right now. Let me go to low time frame real quick. It's just not strong enough, right? So you have this low. Fantastic that you're holding here. This is not strong enough. You're breaking the low. You're coming back. You're getting rejected. No, you want to see a little bit stronger structure. You wanted to see something like this. So, you know, being around here and then looking for the continuation to the upside. Or, you know, more liquidity building. Internal high, low, boom. Expansion. This is the other way around. So this is just a channel. Breakdown, retest, continuation to the downside. So, you know, this could lead into continuation, but at the same time, you are also, you know, right here at this low that caused a nice expansion. No, I'm gonna stay out of this one for now. But in case something happens, we keep a close eye on it, especially if we can break the $124. And actually close above it. Okay, hope that makes sense. Now let's see what else we have. Let's kick it off right here. All right. Ames is XRP. Let's look at XRP, my friend. Let's do that. Let's do that. Let's see what we have. Okay. Okay, Bitcoin is still rejected here. So scenario 1 might be playing out. Pulling back to the 44.41. And then looking for the continuation of 41.156. That's where I will place my entries right here. For XRP. Same scenario, right? So range. Expansion. Range, expansion. Range, rejection, coming back down, potential expansion. Building more and more, sell sides right here. Overall, we're running like a bigger channel. But again, the ranges is where the trades, where your highest probability trade setups occur. But this is still the point of control of this initial range. Then taking it to this range right here, which is, decent. The first level I see is the value area high. And it aligns also very nice with this low to this high here. So if you draw the Fibonacci one more time from this low to this high here, you will be right at the 79. So that's a 79%, the value area high. Let's draw a horizontal support here. This was resistance, this was resistance, this was resistance, this was resistance. You can now flip it into support as well. So that's, a lot of confluence is coming together. We have, obviously a lot of stop losses built up above here. So we could potentially go for that liquidity that's built up above here eventually as well. We have done also, we have some sort of wick fill. You have this area of demand as well. This is on the daily time frame, by the way. So, bringing this to the lower time frames. Let's say the 15-minute. This was the highest point. That was that sell-off. We retested itself. That was a trade. Stop loss above. Lower low. Lower high. 5 minute. Let's go to the 10 minutes right here. Yeah, it's all the same. Okay. Breakout. Pullback, rejection, liquidity building, taking it out here. I want to see price pushing up a bit more. Yeah, right there. Resistance, 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 resistance. Yeah, I want to see price pushing back to the 57.319. I want to see an internal lower low, lower high, followed by a continuation to the downside. That's it. So 57.39119. This is potentially a short scenario. So if the market turns and flips here, then we are looking at a nice short scenario, taking, of course, and going for the lows, which comes up to the 57. This will be invalidated if the market is still looking bullish and if the Telegram is still looking weak. However, it's always good to have multiple opportunities where you have some short opportunities in your watch list and some long opportunities. Because once you get to the point of interest, you can then decide every single time, does it align with the current sentiment? If the answer is yes, you take it. If the answer is no, you leave it. And that's just a very easy way of dissecting and staying active in the market. And, taking enough trades as well. You have so many cryptocurrencies out there. That's why building these daily watch lists is so important because, with that foundation right there, you can do a lot of stuff. You can like select 5 bullish and 5 bearish trade setups. You wait all of them to get to your point of interest. You then confirm your bias once it's there. And voila, you have a good risk management. And in my opinion, with a strict way of actually taking profits, not being too greedy, I don't see how you cannot make money in this market. I just can't see it, truly. Lewis, thank you, Lewis. I have to go. No worries, my man. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Hope to see you tomorrow. Space Boy and Kitty says, would you mind looking at Tia? My man, Space Boy and Kitty. Shout out to you. Tia. Okay, amazing. Holding up very nicely in this demand here. Massive expansion. High, high, low, daily. Overall, looking very strong. No reason to panic. Not overbought. I mean, we're up tremendously, but we're not looking weak. 4 hour. Yeah. So, okay, if you can gain this high, if you can gain the 50, then your best opportunities are right here because you come back right into that range right there. You can then directly leverage that range. So now, for example, you have this range right here. You came back to the point of control. Let me make it right here. Perfect. Yeah, you came back to the point of control. You bounce from it. You get higher, higher, low, and then you have your entry and look for further continuation right here. Looking very good. If you invalidate the lows, you can immediately turn this overall bigger range into resistance. So then you leverage the value area low right here, which is sitting around 11.85 and a point of control as resistance. So then instead of holding it as support, you flip it into resistance and your second trade opportunity comes along. So no matter what happens here, this is fantastic. It's on futures. This is what you want to see. You want to have multiple options. If A happens, I act A. If B happens, I act B. At this particular moment, you can see that we are still above. If you flip that high, you gain that higher at 50.34. You pull back, you look for further continuation. You have, this high to target. You have a lot more upside potential. If you tend to break down and you flip it into resistance, you have a lot more downside potential. Okay, you have this gap here. Let's assume that this was the final expansion here. You have this whole gap right there at the 70.5, 79%. You can turn it into a massive short opportunity as well here. So this is great. This is great. If you can look it from that angle. On the lower time frame, okay, let me just clean it up real quick. Put it back in a second, but yeah, this is the problem. So this is nice, right? The range expansion, little gain, retracement. But, too many stop losses potentially built below. So, you come down, you start coming up, you start taking out the lows, you manipulate the lows, and then you break out. Maybe then it gets interesting to look at a trade. But I think on a medium time frame, regardless of the outcome, there are 2 fantastic trades you can take already. So I think with a little bit of patience here, you will get rewarded with TIA. Yeah, it's looking amazing. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Fantastic. Cosmos says Algo. Humberto says, Kate, please check power. Let's look at power. In the meantime, Bitcoin getting rejected? Yes, a little bit. Bookmap. Yeah, it's still in between. There's still not much happening. A lot of ranging at the moment. It's good though that the Bitcoin dominance is in resistance, so that means that altcoins might be taken over a little bit in the short term. All right, power. Support, daily support. Really, really nice. Really clean. Nice pullback. Yeah, this is great. This is the value area low. High. This is great, man. This is really solid here. You're right at the value area high right now, which we talked about on the daily. So that's good. The top wick of the daily candle is very weak, not looking strong. So you are now in a crucial area of support here. What you need to do on the 15-minute, yeah, you might be able to trade it. You know, you have this zone. You have broken out. You're now retesting it and then coming back to the value area high one more time. Yeah, boom, trade. Targeting this gap, which you're gonna find right there. TP at obviously this high. This high right here. Yeah, so that means an entry. I would look for entries at 4165. Stop loss below. Or pullback, expansion, entry here and stop loss below. Yeah, I think that's better. So yeah, you wait for price to come down. Right here. So price comes down. Let me use this one right here. Price comes down. Price comes down further. It creates an internal higher high, higher low. That's your entry. Stop loss still below there. And then target the highs right here. 3 to 1. Thank you, bro. So far, so good. Let's see how it goes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, perfect. Then we have Algo Dre. Dr. Dre says, can you take a gather at Space Microvision? Yes, sir. Absolutely. We will do that. Let's look at Algo right now. Yeah, very good. Not as strong as I wanted to be. I think that you are okay. It's okay. It's okay. You're holding at that support here. Okay, yeah. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. It's holding up. It's holding up. Okay. Weekly close below though. So that's kind of an issue that you closed the weekly candle below it, and that you're trying to break back into that range. But what tends to happen is that, you know, you come up, you come to this level of resistance here, you get rejected, and you flip bearish. And you start coming towards that real zone, you create a demand, and then you break out. That there is not enough demand here, not enough orders to just fill that push through here, because you need to break this high right now, which is very hard, because this high on the weekly broke this initial low. So it's very hard to get through that breakthrough, through that breakout here. I would say that shorting is more interesting if the opportunities are here. 1 hour rejection, 15-minute. And this is nice overall, but you know, you have to just take out. Just understand that they wanted to go for the liquidity here. All the stop losses that were built above here, these are now taken out. So the majority of people that entered here are taking profits. You're now come back towards this bigger range as well. The bigger range is also a layer of resistance, which we not have even, you know, fully tested yet here. That could be your short. That could be your short. That means we look at this range. Yeah, this is already rejection. Okay, no, you see it already. The rejection was there already. Okay, so the value area low, you know, created a rejection. 5 minute internal break to the downside. Lower low, lower high, lower low. So it seems that we're turning here. We might be pushing up one more time. But if you start breaking down, you have that M formation and you start coming off here. So my entries are not going to be here to look for the continuation. You could do it. It's an aggressive entry. It's definitely possible. But I would definitely be more interested in waiting for a final squeeze towards the highs. So we can get back towards this area of supply right here. Get rejected. Break down. And sell off. So that's actually a much interesting setup. Why? Because you can enter there stop loss above the highs. And risk reward is better. So, you know, something like this right here. Entry. Stop loss above the highs. And then you can target at least, you know, this range right here. Let me see. Yeah, somewhat this range. Yeah, right here. Perfect. 18.86. So stop loss at 0.1999. So let's say 0.2. Entry at 1973. Take profit at 1886. I have a good feeling about this one. However, feelings don't matter in trading. You guys know it. Okay. But again, it's definitely reasonable. It's definitely reasonable. Let's look at the Dre's token here. Gander, space, microvision right there. Perfect. Let's look at Gander. Sorry. Sorry, space. Sorry. Microvision. All right. Boom. Weekly support. Weekly resistance. 2 weekly levels. A key level at 26.2. Local resistance 24.4. We're now there, or we're close to there, right? So we're looking at a zone, a layer of resistance, you could say, which you can find right there. So let's highlight this zone. Boom. That's your zone. That's your major resistance for space right here. This is of course not where you want to go because it's a serious sell-off if it would come down 40%. I mean, total 3 is still breaking down. There is a potential scenario where we break down and we come down lower. We start flipping, coming back to the $425 billion. You know, if that happens, we might see rejection here. I have not enough knowledge about the fundamentals of this project. But what I can see from the technicals right now is that you look very strong. But that you're now testing previous resistance right here. So in order for you to look for continuation, you need to break the high, test it into support, and look for further continuation to the upside. Or you turn over, all right? So whenever you come to a key level like that, taking some profits, if you are in early, is never a bad idea. Because, you know, the worst thing that can happen is that you take profits and you can put it in another project. That's number one. Secondary, you can also wait for a breakout on the pullback and you flip and re-enter when it turns into support. And you can say, yeah, but then I lose out a little bit because then I have more tokens here. Yeah, okay, but if you sell 30% or 25% of your holdings and you come back and you flip it, then you buy back in, then at least your money is rolling. There is momentum. And you don't have to wait for no reason. Because if it turns around and it comes down 40%, now you're going to be very upset that, you know, you didn't sell your 25% back or 30% back right there in order to gain at least 30% more of your initial sell-off right there, which is definitely a potential scenario. If you look at the total market cap and if you look at, you know, what's happening here. So either break to the upside for further continuation or a retracement right now. You are at a key level of resistance and you see already, you can already see it, that this initial range broke down. It's now building weakness, that liquidity right now. Yeah, I can see right here that this could just easily lead into a sell-off. So unless you break above here, you turn it into support, boom, done. Or you just break down here. Okay, I hope that makes sense. But yeah, strong overall, but you are at a crucial zone, so it's up to you to decide what you prefer here. Very nice though. Beautiful. A lot of requests. Fantastic. Kevin then says Rune. Yeah, we need like 5 more or something. 5 more setups to our watch list. And then we have enough to work with. Bitcoin is coming down here. Okay, interesting. That is interesting what's happening. Tether is pushing. Okay. Slightly. Lower low. No higher high yet. Wait for higher high. Higher low. Boom. Then it's interesting maybe to look for a short-term scalp to the downside for Bitcoin. Okay, there was some volume here, but immediately getting sold off again. So that's not a good sign here for Bitcoin, by the way. A lot of volume pushing up, immediately getting rejected. Volume already dying out right away. And the Tether dominance coming up. So yeah, you might see a short-term pullback right now. This could be the moment for us to look for a pullback on the lower time for maybe a quick scalp and then a long, one more long to the upside, because we have still not reached the $46,000 right here, which we're looking to go to. That's Bitcoin right there. Hundreds of millions of dollars of short side liquidations sitting above or around the $46,000. So key component here. Okay, wait for a price to push down. Look for continuation. You turn this range, like we talked about, into support and then flip bullish short term. But it can also be on the lower time frame that you're getting rejected here right now, and that you can look for short-term scalp to the downside, because the volume is not looking that good at the moment here. So actually quite interesting. Let me break this low. Let's break some structure here, retracement, and then a sell-off. Might be shorting Bitcoin in a couple minutes. Who knows? That would be nice here. Okay. Yeah, let's go back to Rune. So Rune, at the particular moment, is strong. Looking for a little pullback here. Nothing too crazy. 4 hour is just coming down. Nice and steady here. We're still potentially have a little bit more downside. That's definitely certainty. Coming back towards this zone. Sitting around $4 for Rune. So I think that $4 for Rune is absolutely fantastic. Why? Because you then flip this weekly initial resistance right here, which was the previous high, into support as well. So you have the combination of that flipping in support on the weekly in combination with taking out all these lows right here, filling up this wick in full, and coming back to this little piece of price structure, which is sitting right below, right around the 79% as well. So that's like a key confirmation zone. You can already see that we're reacting from the 70 already. So a retracement here could mean the perfect entry. Sitting around $4 for Rune. Really, really clean. Let's see what we have. Okay. We have Dylan Vermaak says Tau. We have Bart Simpson says Rose. We have Bonk. We have Bonk. We have Waywander says STX. Tau. Fantastic. Yeah, we have been selling off here, okay? No surprise though. The AI narrative has been a little bit, slower. Same like the gaming narrative. Okay, we're seeing kind of the we're seeing similar patterns right here. The weekly breakout, massive expansion, trying to hold on here at support right now. We're really trying to hold on here. We kind of broke out though, so we regained some momentum, and we're still above support here. But again, this range was just too strong, of course. This range was rejection point. I can already tell you that this is the value area low. Right here. I don't even have to see it anymore. This is the value area low of that range. And look how perfect. Boom. If that isn't perfection, I don't know what is here. Okay. Fantastic. Now you come down. You did create, however, a high here, but that does not mean that we're just going to move up from now. This could just easily be, let's say, some sort of liquidity grab for it to just move further down based upon this bigger range and that rejection that we're seeing here. So what tends to happen is that when you have such a big range, at some point you come up to reclaim one more time. You take out these early shorters, and then you start to continue down here. So yeah, I need to see how we actually react around 223, the 224, you could better say. That's the reason why we're looking at the higher time frame, because that then gives us these levels to look at, and that's a key level to look at in general, right? Because that's the low of this initial expansion right here. That's the first time we tested it. We're trying to hold above it. If you start coming below that, you know, now you have an ultimate confirmation, because now you come back below daily support. You get rejected here, and you can kind of confirm that this was just a liquidity grab in order just to move price further down here and to take out more liquidity that's getting built in the short term. So if you're going to see a pullback below and you start building that liquidity and you start breaking it, then this is your entry and your stop loss should be above it. So that could then be like something like this. And this is just really out of the pocket here, but you know, that could then be some sort of trade where you then go for the break and then look for that further come to the base to the downside right too. And you have the daily support as your confluence or as your level to turn into resistance. So that can act as a security layer when you short Tau here. For your spot holdings, yeah, it's like I would not buy here, that's for sure. I would wait to come back towards this range first. So that's like the 170, the 160, and the 145. If that makes sense, right here. Ali says crypto signals on Discord. Crypto signals on Discord. Yes, sir. We have a lot of signals in there in our Discord channel right now. Okay, we have done around 150 trades over the last 4 months. I think 3.5 months. That's a serious amount. So it's important that you follow them closely here. Yeah, we're doing good. We're doing good. Everything is tracked. Everything is traced right now. You can join as well by clicking on the link in the description. Okay, you sign up with BitGet. I use BitGet myself as right now, as you can see. I connected it with TradingView. I can open a trade in a matter of seconds. Very easy, very quick. So you sign up and then you fill in your UID number if you have deposited $100 right here, and then we guarantee access to our signal channel. So it's a win-win, and you get signals. You get free signals right there. At the same time, it's also a great way to learn and to improve. But don't just use signals just for money purposes or making money, which is obviously been proven, but also use it to learn and to see how we do it. All right, so Sui. Bart Simpson says Rose. Did we talk about Rose already? I don't think so. We should definitely look at Rose here. Let's go to the daily. Yeah, so we're sitting here. We're chilling around the weekly. Okay, that's why these weekly levels are so important. We are chilling around the weekly levels here. So we flipped this high, And now we're flipping it into support. So this is good. That's a good thing. If you start coming below it and you close the weekly candle below it, short. Short it. Most likely we're going to come back towards the 0.07756. For now, we're above it. So this is what you want to see. Now, what you truly want to see is a breakout. Why? You want to at least on the medium time frame, because we go from the weekly to the medium time frame. Okay. This is the high, this is the low. Now you're looking for a higher low. And your higher high is your trade setup. So your higher low is your trade setup. So your higher high, higher low. You can always scale it down to the lower time frame to look for better risk reward setups here. But in my opinion, when you're on the weekly, I don't think it's really needed or necessary to do so. And then automatically you can target the next weekly level, which is sitting around 15 cents. So based upon that here, you wait for that high. Why is it important to wait for this particular high to be broken? Again, I keep repeating it, but it's super important. We're always looking at the high that created the low. This is where that high, or that last high before we created this low. This is the high that took out this low. So if you, with this low, take out this high, you flip it, you gain it, it shows the market that there is potential, there's enough strength, there's enough demand. You wait for a pullback, and you look for an entry. And then you know exactly where to put your stop loss. And you know exactly where to go to. And that is the higher time frame. If for some magic reason you start coming and closing a weekly candle below here, boom, you flip it into resistance and you short it. So no matter what, there are a bunch of opportunities here. If you don't gain this, you don't trade long. And if you break down, you look for a short here. So there are always multiple opportunities. These are both scenarios. The case here, it all has to do with the highs and the lows. Higher high, high low, and boom, we have what we need here. Lower low, lower high, we have what we need here. However, for the lower low, we need to look for a weekly closure. And that's very important. So yeah, we're gonna add this one to the list. This might take some time here, okay? And again, we don't know how long. We have the ETF and you name it. But again, this is all part of the game. For now, this week is gonna be a volatile week. But regardless, let's see if we can catch some wins regardless here. Okay, I'm 99.99% sure. Okay. How many do we have right now? We have rows. Did we added rows here? Let's yes, we added rows. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Okay, we need 1 or 2 more. 2 more. Two more, let's go. What do we have? We have ICP. And people, man, wow. I think that was the biggest trade in our community this week. Last week. That was the people trade. That was absolutely unbelievable. Look at Marton, 777%. Look at, of course, Tim, 1083% with a 10x long. So that's a double, that's a full 100% gain here. That is absolutely incredible. So Trader Tim, well done. Big shout out to you, my friend. If you're listening, you are still the GOAT. Terminator Tim, we call him. Okay. So let's look at people as an honor towards Tim here. Okay. Let's see what we have. Yeah, that was just, yeah, that was, we saw it coming. We saw it coming. Okay. A weekly. Yeah. Yeah, that was just absolutely insane. So we broke above this high. And we had a daily closure above this high. And what I like about these type of setups is that you close strong with a lot of volume above. And then the next daily candle comes down and it flips bullish. And the moment it flips, you enter. And your stop loss is below. That's one layer. You know, you can also then take the lower time frame. And so on. For now, though, we have seen such a strong gain that we came all the way up towards this high. And that means that at this particular moment, you got rejected at the top of that range right here, practically. So, if you look at this zone, I think it was somewhat that gap, or you could say this zone right here. Okay, so let's just see how that one evolves right here. But again, yeah, there we go. So we tapped into that range, right? And now you're kind of seeing a rejection point. Again, you know, at some point you have to pull back here. It was just, the move was so aggressive that, yeah, sooner than later we're going to break down. And this is healthy. I mean, this was a, I don't know, this was like a 600% gain in what? Like, are you serious? Was this like in... No way. In 4 hours, okay. This will, we're talking a 600% gain in 4 hours, okay? Absolutely crazy. Okay. So anyways, what happened here was you got rejected there, number one. You then go to the lower time frame. You most likely have some sort of structure here. You sell off here. Then this high, that was a retest, created a lower low. If you draw the Fibonacci from this high to this low, you came back to the 50%. You were getting rejected at the 50%. So now it's all about, is there a potential scenario where we can break this crucial area of support? Because you can see that this is an area of support, resistance, support, support, support. Can we close below it? And can we turn it into resistance? Can we confirm the breakdown? And if that's the case, you most likely will start coming down all the way as of how it came up here. Don't take any short here until we break below clearly and look for a retracement. And you know, you see that turnover here. Because you never know with these type of tokens here. It was absolutely crazy move. But again, what comes up, what tends to happen is that people don't take profits. And if the total tree remains weaker, then people might be reacting to it. So people are like, you know what? Maybe it's time to get out for now. And let's see what happens later. So, you know, crucial area of resistance as well. Breakdown, breaking structure. It's just, there is just more downside potential. What would invalidate this setup? Higher high, right? This high. That could then learn or lead into another higher low and a continuation. But yeah, that's not the case yet. So for now, it seems that we're building so much, you know, liquidity below here that it's more reasonable to come down a little bit. Okay. Trading for a living, says Rune. So again, we talked about this one. Okay. Injective. That's a good one here. I want to do like 2 or 3 more. Let's look at injective indeed. All right, we're now back at the top of that range. Sitting resistance, looking strong though, looking strong. If you can flip it into support here, you break the weekly support, you turn it into resistance, so if you can break the weekly resistance, you can turn that into support. You can continue up. You're now getting rejected though, but you're looking very strong. So there's no need for shorts here. You will also potentially come down. And if you start coming down and you want to short this, then you're going to hold support here and you come up again and your risk reward is not that great. So not interested in shorting, only interested in looking for longs until proven otherwise. That's it. you know, if you start coming down and you break this low internally, then you can look for, but that will take some time. So, you know, you create a massive range. This could cause a massive breakout in either direction. If it's up, you're most likely going to continue up. So then you have that consolidation, expansion, retracement, continuation. If you start coming down, yeah, you want to absolutely break below the previous range before you look for a pullback. And that might take some time. We're talking about a couple days. So, you know, that's too far ahead. So this is the most reasonable layer, waiting for a breakout. And then looking for further continuation here. Incredible. Okay. I'm gonna do one more. Let's see, guys. What do we have here? Let's see what we have here. All right. Injective done Ave link. Let's do link. Let's do link. Chainlink. Let's look at Chainlink. You're right. That's a good point. We haven't talked about Chainlink yet here. Chainlink is gonna absolutely explode. Mark my words here. Eventually, Chainlink is gonna do its thing. It has been a sleeping giant, and once that Oracle comes into play and it actually gets integrated, it's done here. For now, though, we're holding up onto weekly support. That's it. So looking good. We're holding up here. Weekly levels are key every single time here. You see it already. This low right here. This low right here. Very, very basic, right? Doesn't have to be so complicated. Now coming to the 4 hour. You could see... You see that layer of resistance right there. You have that consolidation, that manipulation, and that breakthrough moment. This is bullish. So this is good. This is good. So consolidation, manipulation, expansion, flip it into support here. So this is good. This is where this is showing a lot of strength. Interested from roughly the 50% or lower. So the only thing that I can think about right now is the following. The 15-minute, the 618 at $13 for Chainlink. Aggressive entry will be here, okay? But I am much more interested in looking to take that out and then to look for somewhat in that range here. So you have this low, this high. Then you have this higher low, and then you go and look for further continuation up here. So actually much more interested in this low right here. Why? Because this was this last layer of consolidation on the lower time frame before you took out the high. So if you can retrace to that high or that low that created a breakthrough moment here, that took out this high that created that lower low, you now have a perfect transition, a perfect shift to the upside, or at least the potential here. And you take out some stop losses that are built up below, you break down and you continue up and you create a really nice and clean W formation to the upside. Coming back to that bigger range right here. The Chainlink, very, very nice. Entry will be at roughly 13.1. Coming back to that bigger range. Stop loss below this low right here. So you can also wait for further confirmation before you enter. So you can keep your stop loss below this zone here. But then you have at least a confirmation and then you enter like this. A little bit higher because you have that confirmation from a 50-minute candle that you come up, come down, and then look for further continuation. And then you enter your stop loss below. So this is definitely one that we're gonna add one to the list here. Looking forward already to share the setups tomorrow, okay? In the YouTube section right here. So that's another reason for you to join our Discord, because, you know, these can actually flip and turn into trades. So if you want to stay updated about the setups that I discussed right now, then you definitely want to join our Discord right here, because this is where you know, I'm gonna keep you guys updated. Okay, new week, so let's do that. Let's make it happen. All right, incredible, guys. Thank you guys so much for today. We have been streaming for what, roughly around, and I need to see here, 1 hour and 45 minutes. Okay, this is beautiful. All right, keep it up, guys. So far, just a quick confirmation one more time for Bitcoin. Like I said before, I am still interested in longs. All right, I'm waiting for the price to come back down towards the 44.441 or the 44.16. The reason why is because that's the value area high of this overall range. A nice retest of that range could lead into further continuation. So one more time to clean it up, make it look a little bit better. So one more time here, the 44.16 is actually my favorite, you know, particular high I'm looking at. Why? Because my stop loss can be underneath the lows and I can target the $46,000 right here. So that could be a fantastic trade opportunity. Entry here, stop loss there, target the $46,000, slightly higher, and then just literally put my stop loss below the value area low, and that should be a nice 3-to-1 on my money right here. Okay, this could be fantastic. Still looking good at still looking good. The reason why is because we have 44.5. We will have a lot of support here. Again, that comes back towards that resistance like I talked about. So, you know, we could turn this also into support. This will be more of or less the aggressive entry to the upside in case you're looking at an entry right here. I'm personally looking more at the 44.1. That means we have a reasonable retest of that range leading into the $46,000. Keep in mind, there is still hundreds of millions of dollars of sell-side liquidations built up above the $46,000 here. I do believe that is an absolute necessity in order to take out right now. Otherwise, it gets bigger and bigger and bigger. Could be interesting, okay? Again, 2 more days left for potentially the ETF approval. This is again from ARK Invest. This is not BlackRock, which everyone is talking about. This is from ARK. So there is a chance of a rejection, okay? If that's the case, we most likely will see lower prices. So if price moves up right now and we get rejected, it makes sense because then at least the highs are taken, okay? It could be interesting though. So do take consideration one more time and look at the total market cap, okay? We talked about it just now here, but again, and look at all these previous cycles. There is usually a momentum shift where you come down one more time and then you start coming up here. This is 2021. 2017 did exactly that. We broke out, retested it, and we came up and the run started. And again, we are now right here looking at something extremely similar. We come up, push back down, look into the Bitcoin halving. Bitcoin halving comes, spot ETF approved of BlackRock. Boom. Fire. All right. We'll see. We'll see what's going to happen here. I have no, magic ball right now. But again, we have to take everything in consideration. Again, if you apply a solid risk management, everything is going to be fine. Everything is going to work in our favor regardless. We're going to enjoy. We're going to make some money together. Smash up that like button right here, guys. It's a new channel. You're one of the first to be here. So congratulations. We're going to have a good time together. Make sure you also join our Discord. And of course, if you want to join our crypto VIP, you can always click on the link in the description right here. Sign up with BitGet. This is where I trade with. I use TradingView. Boom. Create a limit order in a split of a second. Entry. Boom. Done. And you can get access to our winning crypto signals as well. I'm going to see you guys tomorrow. Thank you guys so much. In the YouTube section, you can also see that we keep you guys updated on a day-to-day basis. We have a bunch of setups right now that you have to go over and have to evaluate. So when some of these opportunities are there, I'm the first one to let you know about it, okay? I'm going to see you guys tomorrow at 10 a.m. EST. If you want to join, press the W in the chat and let's build this shit, okay? Heading in towards the ETF, it's going to be an exciting and volatile time. So be careful, don't overextend, and enjoy the ride. Thank you so much. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.